Hi, Jackie Matthews here with Adventure Waits World Travel. Today I want to talk to you about the Seven Seas Grandeur. That's their newest ship. They just put it in the water about 4 months ago. And John and I had the privilege of being aboard recently. We hosted a group of 64 on a Panama Canal cruise from LA to Miami. We went through the old locks, and I want to tell you, everybody in our group had a fabulous time. The crew is amazing. The ship is gorgeous. The food was fantastic. It's all inclusive. We didn't pay for any of our shore excursions. We didn't pay for any specialty dining. We didn't pay for any of our drinks. We had a fabulous time. So there's a million things I love about this ship, but I'm going to tell you my 5 favorite things about the Seven Seas Grandeur. So here we go. So here we are aboard the beautiful Regent Seven Seas Grandeur. At the time of this picture, the ship had only been in the water for about 4 months. As you can see, we're going through the old locks, and that picture on the right, I think, is super cool of that big ship and then the yacht. That gives you a perspective and how the different locks are at different levels. If you haven't done a Panama Canal cruise, highly recommend it. Super, super interesting. Okay, so my favorite thing, number one, about the Regent Seven Seas Grandeur is their crew. Their crew is amazing. From the time you are going through the onboarding experience, it took us like 15 minutes, maybe tops, to get on board the ship. Everything was set up in the port. Everyone was lovely, gracious, so accommodating, so kind. If you have anybody in your party who has any kind of accessibility issues, their team was fantastic, helping people get aboard the ship. We were met with these lovely ladies, and I can't say enough about the crew. Okay, a little more bragging about the crew. As soon as you step on board, a gorgeous lady is handing you a glass of champagne. These are my kind of people. Throughout the entire cruise, the crew went above and beyond. And, that's what makes, to me, a ship so wonderful is when the crew is amazing. You could tell that they love their job. By day 2 or 3, they were calling John and I by our first names. Definitely within a couple of days, they knew what was our favorite drink. And sometimes they'd bring it over as we were sitting down in the cocktail bar or sitting down to eat dinner. They'd bring us our favorite wines, like, Jackie, how was your day? John, what are you up to? If I was ever someplace without John, they go, Jackie, where's John? I can't say enough about these people. They love their ship. It's a very tight group. They're very proud of their service, and they're very proud of their ship, and they have every right to be. My favorite thing, number two, about the Regent Seven Seas Grandeur is the ship itself. Number one was the crew, because it's the people that make the ship. But I'll tell you what, this ship is gorgeous. Regent Seven Seas is, of course, all suites. There are 372 suites aboard. Everybody has their own private veranda, lots and lots of space. Just a gorgeous ship. The ship only has 744 passengers if it's fully loaded. John and I, we used to cruise on all the cruise lines. Now our specialty really is the small ship cruises, those less than 1,000, some are less than 600 or 500 or 200. But we really prefer that small ship experience, and so do most of our clients. I'm not going to do a complete ship tour here because John's putting together a complete ship tour video that he'll have out for you pretty soon. So I'm just going to hit some highlights just so you get an idea of how gorgeous this ship is. And I'm going to use the word exquisite. I'm going to use it a lot. Here is the reception area, this gorgeous staircase, the chandeliers. The colors are calming and lovely and exquisite. There are 4 Picassos aboard ship, not copies, real Picassos. One of them is in the Regent suite, the largest suite aboard ship. It's 4,400 square feet, and it has a Picasso in the dining room. The other 3 you can see when you go to Prime 7 and in their bar, you'll see the other 3 Picassos there. There's a Fabergé egg in the reception area. So when I talk about how exquisite this ship is, this gives you an idea. Okay, obviously this is one of my favorite hangouts, the midship pool. The lovely thing about these small ship cruises are you never have to fight for a lounge chair. And look at how they're covered by these nice 3 or 4 inch thick pads. They bring them out every morning. They put these fresh covers on them. You've got the pool guys with you all day long, giving you drinks and food. You can eat outside, breakfast, lunch. It's a wonderful thing. You've got the two hot tubs. Sometimes I would be down by the pool. Sometimes I like to sit up on the top and just enjoy the view, but this was one of my favorite places on the ship. Here's the same view at night. Look at what they did with the lighting. The lighting is just gorgeous, and they made great use of this area. I'm going to talk in a few minutes about some of the parties they threw for us, but these were just, again, exquisite areas. John and I would come out here with a cocktail and watch sunset. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. In the early morning, I like to get up, and on what you're looking at is the pool deck, which is 11, and then deck 12 is where they have that jogging trail that you can see. And I'd get up and jog or walk around the jogging trail in the early morning hours when the ship was still pretty much asleep. It'd be me and a half a dozen other people, but this was absolutely exquisite. Wow, just looking at this makes me happy. This is called the Serene Spa, and boy, is that well named. John and I, of course, had to go and do some research, so we both had massages. They were fantastic. I think we both got 90-minute massages, or 100 minutes is what they call them, but it's basically 90 minutes. Fabulous. They did a great job. You can come here for all kinds of different treatments. You can also come and just use their facilities. They've got some hot tubs, they've got steam rooms, the salt room, all that, all those kind of fun places to hang out. And you don't have to have a spa service paid for in order to use those spaces, which I really appreciate. So John and I spent a lot of time here. Here's the observation bar. It's on deck 12, the absolute forward of the ship. So, I mean, you're looking out the front of the ship, and the windows is 180 degrees around. During the day, you can sit there and, they've got people serving drinks, all kinds of stuff all during the day. In the evenings, they would bring in live entertainment, a lot of times a piano player and a singer. And then they would bring around delicious hot and cold hors d'oeuvres. They had a caviar night and champagne one night. That was really fun. And this was just a really fun bar to go to either during the day or in the evening right before you go to dinner. And we love this place. Of course, one of our absolute favorite places aboard ship was our suite. We actually had the smallest suite on the ship. As you can see, it's pretty good sized. We have our bed. It was a king size bed. Then we've got a couch, and you can't see it off to the side, but there's a desk and chair. And then we have our full outdoor balcony. And of course, as we arrived, there was a beautiful bottle of champagne on ice ready for us. So it was a great space. And again, this is the smallest one on the ship, and it was about 300 square feet. So they all go up from there. But we loved our suite. Of course, we cannot talk about a cruise without talking about food. So here's another one of my favorite places aboard ship. This is Compass Rose, the main dining room. And look at the exquisite art that goes floor to ceiling. And it divides up. This is the main dining room on the ship, and yet it divides it up with this beautiful art so that you're in kind of a more of a kind of a pod, a quieter area. And it was really beautiful and elegant. We had dinner here a couple of times and brunch a couple of times and really enjoyed this venue. There are 9 dining venues aboard the Grandeur. This is Pacific Rim, their Asian restaurant, and look at this gorgeous entrance into their restaurant. I mean, this kind of sets the whole tone, and this is gorgeous, and then the food is phenomenal. Some of the members of our group had been there the night before we went there, and they said, okay, Jackie, we talked to the chef, and he came out and sat with us, and he brought out all of the appetizers. And he said, we didn't even get to the main course. We were just having such a great dinner with all the appetizers. I guess he is really well known for his dumplings. So if you go to Pacific Rim, you got to try the dumplings. Another favorite restaurant for us was Prime 7, their steakhouse. The wine list was phenomenal. The steaks were outstanding, and it was just a fabulous dinner. Of course, all the restaurants are included and all of the beverages are as well, unless you want a super high-end, like 100-year-old whiskey or super, super high-end wine, then you're going to have to pay extra for it. But the value is there with Regent Seven Seas Grandeur. I was talking to a client the other day and she said, why is Regent more expensive? And I said, by the time you buy everything, it's not, because all of your shore excursions are included, all of your beverages, all your wine, everything. The only thing you pay for on the ship is the spa. I mean, all the specialty dining is included. So it really is a high value cruise line, and that's why we love sailing on it. Here's another shot of us in Prime 7. As you can see, it's a beautiful, elegant restaurant, and the food, again, was delicious. They say their favorite cocktail or most popular cocktail board is the Spicy Passion. So if you eat at Prime 7, try the Spicy Passion cocktail. My other pro tip, if you're going to eat at Prime 7, is come during daylight hours. They do serve lunch there sometimes, or come for an early dinner because you can see these windows are gorgeous and it's got about 180-degree view. So come during the day, or maybe if you're doing dinner, do an early dinner so you can see the sunset and then the evening. That would be a really gorgeous thing to do. So that's my pro tip for Prime 7. This is my absolute favorite place that we ate. It was delicious. It was on the aft deck. It was La Veranda, and at night they would open it up as an Italian restaurant called Sette Marie. And you had to get there early if you wanted to get in. They wouldn't take reservations, so you had to get in line about 6 or 6:30 if you wanted to get in. But we ate outside on the aft deck. It was the most delicious Italian food. There was only a few tables. It was quiet and peaceful, and we sat there and watched the sunset. Just fantastic. Highly recommend it. As you can see from this picture, we were virtually alone out there, just a handful of tables. And so you really felt like you had the ship to yourself with a beautiful aft view. We would come early to see the sunset, and then it would go dark. And if we were cruising by some islands or something, you'd see the gorgeous lights on land. And it was just a lovely experience. So definitely try Sette Marie if you go aboard the Grandeur. I told you there was 9 dining venues aboard ship. This was the most exclusive. This is on our own private veranda. A couple of nights we just liked to eat in, and so we would have dinner delivered, and they would deliver the first course, maybe appetizers and some champagne, and then they bring the main course and the dessert, and it was actually lovely. They would set up the full table with the crystal and the china and everything. And we had our own restaurant as we're sailing through the Caribbean Sea. It was just lovely. Highly recommend it. So if you're aboard ship, try their in-room dining. It's worth it. And it was delicious. There's something so luxurious about having your own private space. You really feel like the ship belongs to you and just to you. Very romantic. Gotta do it. Okay, after talking so much about food, we've got to talk about burning it off. I told you earlier I love to get up early and go on deck 12 and just do that jogging trail. That was fantastic. Or we would go down to the gym. This is open all the time. And a lot of people were using the equipment. They had everything here. It was much bigger than this. This is just one picture of it. And they also had all sorts of wellness classes. And again, everything's included. Nobody's paying extra to take an exercise class or a stretching class or yoga or anything like that. It was all included, and there was a lot of people working out, so that was fun. It was a very active ship. Another great way to burn off calories is either with pickleball or with their mini golf. There was people out there just enjoying the outdoors all the time. It was a very active onboard group, which was really fun to see. But we had an easy time finding time to get on the pickleball court, and we had a ball. So definitely try out the outdoor activities when you're on board. Another one of my favorite things about the Grandeur was all of the entertainment. Day and night, there was always something to do. We had a number of sea days because of the kind of itinerary we were on with the Panama Canal, and we were never bored. We had plenty of things to do. During the day, they had 2 different guest lectures aboard with very interesting lectures, and this is in their theater. Their theater was lovely. Here's that same Constellation Theater at night. During the day, there'd be lectures and different things like that. And at night, they used the venue for really cool Broadway style shows, singing and dancing. These kids were super talented. They had musicians, they had singers. So there was always something going on. And they did a great job with all of the activities and entertainment. The Grandeur crew was phenomenal. They threw several parties for us during the cruise. This one was the night before we went through the Panama Canal. As you can see, they've put out flags from around the world. I think that represents all the crew aboard and all the passengers aboard the ship. They had live music. All of the dining venues came out and set up a table. And I just want to show you a little bit about how fun this party was. Here's the team from Chartreuse. They're there with their French offerings. So you could go there and get some delicious French food. Then you could go over to the Pacific Rim table and get some Asian food. Then you could go to Prime 7 and get some steaks and some delicious meats over there. It was delicious and really fun. And they did such a fabulous job. Here's the view looking down from deck 12. Look at the gorgeous ice sculptures. They even had ice sculptures just for this party. They really did an outstanding job. When I talk about how lovely the crew was, I must mention how easy and delightful they are to work with. I mean, they don't know the word no. I mean, they will move heaven and earth to make something happen for you. So John and I had a group of 64 with us that we brought with us and we were hosting. And this gentleman, Dr. Wheeler, was there as one of the experts. And so he was doing some lectures during the day about the Panama Canal. He's a geologist. And so we were able to set up, just for our group, a little fireside chat where he came and sat down one morning, and this was before we went through the Panama Canal, and members from our group were able to ask him their questions about the Panama Canal. And it was intimate, it was delightful, and I'm so grateful to the crew for helping us set that up. The crew was also lovely and gracious and helped us set up a galley tour just for our group. It was really fascinating. I mean, just to put out that many meals every day for 700 plus people and at the level of quality that it was. I mean, their food is absolutely fantastic. Their chefs sit down every night before dinner and they taste every single thing that's going to be served to make sure that it is the quality and the caliber that they want served to their guests. So it was phenomenal, and we're very, very grateful to the whole team. Okay, I can't leave you until I give you my absolute favorite spot on Regent Seven Seas Grandeur. This was our favorite spot during the day. This was our favorite spot at sunset, and very few people know about it. It is outside the Serenity Spa. As you can see, it's aft. It's as aft as you can get. And inside those rooms, that's where the treatment rooms are. And you come out here, and they had 3 hot tubs, a big one and then 2 smaller ones. And then they had all kinds of beautiful lounge chairs. And there was just music playing, and it was really peaceful. And there were several times we were here all by ourselves. So I want to show you our video of our favorite spot. Well, there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed our video about our 5 favorite things aboard the Regent Seven Seas Grandeur. It is a gorgeous ship. The crew is fantastic. They have a lot to be proud of. Their food is delicious. The ship is exquisite. And they will move heaven and earth to make sure that you have a wonderful time. Give us a call if you want to talk about sailing aboard the Regent Seven Seas Grandeur. We put a lot of our clients on this one. We specialize in small ship cruising. So that means Regent Seven Seas, Silver Seas, Seabourn, Explorer Journeys, Viking, AMA Waterways, Scenic, Tauk, Uniworld. That's our jam, and that's what we're doing all day, every day, all week, every week. And we would love to serve you. So until our next video, bye for now.